Hey my friends, welcome back to a new video. Today we'll be talking about starseed. So to anyone who's resonating with a term of a starseed, this video is for you. I will explain firstly what it means, but most importantly how much it resonates with you, because there are souls who just feel like they're from a different place. Like sometimes you may feel a sense of not belonging here. And sure, psychologists may say it's due to traumas, but we all know certain people who haven't been through any heavy traumas, but they feel this deep intuitive sense. So it's something really intuitive, but often it can also be delusional. So we need to be clear around this kind of topics because it can help us to evolve spiritually so much. So firstly, my friends, I hope you're having a beautiful day. I want to remind you how exciting it is to see you so happy and so grateful for everything you are attracting into your life, for everything you want to experience in your life. When you come into a state where you don't want these things anymore, you're just naturally grateful because you know that everything is taken care of. What is really needed from you is to be joyful, to find things you love to do, to find things that you like and become really great at that. You know, there's always something we like to do. And if we decide to become so devoted to it that our work becomes like a gift for God, for universe, for however you want to explain it, when you recognize that what I am doing, I'm not doing this just for myself, I'm not doing this just for people, I'm doing this because I want to evolve as the great cosmos that is moving within me. I want to evolve this consciousness, this energy that moves through me. So I'm not, improving myself because I want to prove my worth. I am improving myself because I want to experience how it feels when the universe expands within me. And when it comes to starseeds, it comes to the wise souls that have its origin in different star constellations. So often, if you're doing a meditation, and just in the recent live stream we did a meditation where we firstly opened our hearts and then we've sent this energy upwards through our upper centers, through the crown center and into the source above us. And often if you feel that a term of a starseed really and deeply resonates with you, when you send this, let's say a ball of light in meditation into the source above you, you may sense it's traveling to your star constellation, through the source of your star constellation. And that's where you can activate a potential of your energy field that starts happening from the beginning of this activation forward. And then if you ground this energy into the core of the earth, you will feel more stable in it, so you don't stay in this mind thinking and, over intuitive sensation without grounding this energy. So my friends, to anyone who resonates with this, I want to give you 10 signs that you can recognize that you are a starseed. And before we start, I want to say thanks to everyone for joining our Patreon page, where we're sharing exclusive content, and also a giveaway is active right now for anyone who come there, for free members, for paid members. A giveaway where you can get a print of one of my paintings. So you can go there and check it out. The link is in the description. And also thanks to everyone for supporting my art in our Etsy store. I Draw My Passion. The link is also in the description. With that, you're supporting this mission. So thank you so much for that. So the first sign that you may be one of them, that you may be a starseed, is that you have this deep sense of not belonging. So starseeds often feel like they don't belong, or that the Earth is not their true home. And you may have a sense like you're from somewhere else. But what's important is for you to awaken ourselves here, to recognize that this sense of not belonging is because a part of you is there and needs to be integrated here. That's the purpose of you being here. And once you recognize that you have to integrate yourself here, you will notice exactly why you've come here at this unique time. That's why it's so important to know, and I felt so deeply to talk about this today. I don't know why, but I feel that so many people are waking up right now, and so many people feel like that, especially at these turbulent times that often activates many people to awaken to a deeper essence, to a deeper awareness of what they may feel intuitively. So if that's you, if you feel a sense of not belonging, recognize that this sense of not belonging shouldn't be used as an excuse to run away from your problems and challenges and unpleasant sensations, but recognize how to integrate your intuitive knowing, your wisdom, your insights, ideas into your body in this present moment and use it to solve these problems. But also learn to trust the capacity of your internal wisdom and guidance, because that's what will be guiding you through this process. You're a highly creative soul, which means that you can easily find ideas that will solve problems. But if you let yourself to be guided by fear, you will use this fear as a mechanism that will block you from your own creative capacity. And I want you to recognize that fear truly has no power over you when you decide that you will not be controlled by it anymore. You will still feel it, and it will still be a part of you, but you can use it as a fuel, something we've been talking yesterday. You can use it as a fuel. Doesn't matter what you're afraid of, just start practicing it, start doing it, start doing more of it. Find something you truly love to do, become really good at it, become so good at it that it becomes like a mission. It becomes like a life's purpose to do more of it. Because you will find a sense of service in that work. Somehow, some way it will happen, because that's why you're here. And the right people and the right events will connect. So trust yourself. The second sign is that you have profound sensitivity and empathy. You have strong emotional senses and awareness around them, and you feel quite empathic. Again, it can be due to a certain trauma that happened in the past, but my understanding of traumas is a bit different, because I've noticed in my life that everything that was in the past experienced as a trauma, now I see that it was more than anything an activation of my real senses. Sure, it was painful and it was hard for a certain period of time, but I always came across certain books that helped me to understand what happened. And due to my determination for understanding, I was reflecting on it, I was meditating on it, I was learning around it, until I've recognized that because of those traumas, I came across this knowledge, I came across this wisdom. I wanted to put into action what I've learned, to recognize how much differently can I live if I actually integrate the lessons from those traumas. So I've begun to recognize and deeply believe that each trauma is actually an activation mechanism for our internal guidance. If we learn to tap into it, if we learn to really learn from what happened, and rather than being a victim of it and projecting our own insecurities and pain and frustrations onto others, we decide to heal. We recognize that we are multidimensional beings, which means that there are multiple versions of yourself. And every time you experience any type of an emotion, you're experiencing a different version of yourself. So when you are going through a process of healing, you're actually tapping into a version of yourself that is already healed. But it's a complex process. What matters the most is that you learn to find that inner purity, you learn to find that inner quietness, that inner bliss, inner peacefulness that is often experienced through certain types of meditations and creative processes, like doing art, dancing, listening music, solving problems, doing something you love to do, something that challenges you but at the same time allows you to grow. When you do more of these things, you tap into this other version of you that is an embodiment of your wisdom that is coming from wherever your soul is coming from. So this is a profound work, and that's why you're so sensitive, because you need these senses to sense what needs to be resolved, so later in life you can bring valuable lessons for those who don't know how to move through it. The third sign is that you have unexplained knowledge or skills. Like you've come here and you were suddenly really good at art, or you've been suddenly really good at listening, or suddenly really good at healing, energy healing, or any type of a healing. You decided to be a doctor because you wanted to use your gifts, or you decided to learn from certain spiritual practices because you wanted to become a healer. Or you come here because the world needs you. And since a little kid, maybe your parents can tell you that you had this unexpected knowledge, like you've been talking about things they've never heard before, or maybe they were reading about it, but they were wondering how a little kid can know all of that. It's a sign that you're an old soul, a starseed, coming here to be a teacher, to be a guide, to be a mentor for those who will need you. And those will come to you naturally. The fourth sign is that you have this strong connection to nature and animals. We all know that we are the nature. So nature is us. Sure, we may feel separated from it, but we recognize our bodies are made out of dust, right? Out of this earth. So it makes us connected to the earth. And on an intuitive and instinctive level, we are same as animals. Our intellect is separating us, making us different, making us wiser, more intelligent. But if we learn to distance ourselves from our intellect at times of need, like when we are meditating, or when we want to calm ourselves down, or become more grounded, or just tap into that inner peace, we can find that inner stillness that is often experienced in certain animals when they are playing around or dancing, or like a tree when it is moving in the wind. We can experience that same stillness. Like you can go outside, observe a tree, and just try to feel how it is feeling itself. And at some point, if you stay in tune with it, you will feel it. That's your natural gift to connect and to feel anything you want to feel. Often for sensitive people, it's a bigger challenge to not feel what they don't want to feel, where boundaries need to come into place. And you also need to learn to set energetic boundaries, to recognize that your field is your responsibility, and it's your responsibility to keep it pure, to keep it as you want it to be. And for that, you need to know your field. And to know your field means that you have to have your mind in great order and in great clarity. And for that, you need certain practices, again, like meditation, journaling, working out. Your body needs to be in shape. And in shape, whatever it means to you, whatever makes you feel healthy, strong, vibrant, vital, and, whatever it makes you feel like that, it means that will help you to take care of your energy field. The fifth sign is that you have this sense of strong fascination with the space, with the universe. So every time you see maybe a photo of the universe, or in the nighttime you go outside and look into the sky, it feels like you're looking at your home, you're observing something where you're coming from. A part of you is not remembering that because there's a beauty of this journey coming back into remembering. That's why you've forgotten, because there's such a great beauty and a path of wisdom coming back into remembering. And on that path, what we are learning the most is certain gentle listening of this intuitive inner compass, but at the same time building certain skill set that can allow us to function intuitively in a highly disconnected world, which is often really necessary. So if you feel like that, it is a sign that you may be a starseed. The sixth sign is that you have heightened intuition and psychic abilities. So starseeds often may possess heightened intuition or psychic abilities. They may experience telepathic communication or a strong connection to the spiritual realms, like seeing light beings or sensing them, sensing your spiritual guides. Some call them angels, or seeing, energy fields or auras, or you can sense a message that comes to you from your guides or from people intuitively. Or you may be a great visionary. You can see into the future, not necessarily predicting the future, because there are infinite different timelines, but seeing the outcomes of a certain timelines if nothing changes. Like when we observe the world right now, if nothing changes, we know where it is going. So it's kind of prediction based by present patterns, and for that, a great sense of pattern recognition is necessary, and in that you're really good at. It's kind of psychic ability because we're doing it in our own psychology. Recognition of patterns. Often we can become really good at that if we're drawing sacred geometry, for example, because we learn to see patterns, and it helps us to heighten the senses. A great practice. The seventh sign is that you feel a sense of a mission or a purpose, even though maybe you're not tapping into it yet, or maybe you're at a phase of your life where you're researching that part of yourself. Like you felt maybe forever you've come here with a mission, you've come here with a purpose, but for a lot of time you thought that you don't know what it is. But every time we find it, we recognize that we were always in purpose. We're always in purpose, but the purpose was to come to the realization of it. So it doesn't matter if you found it or not, you are living in purpose. But it doesn't feel like that because we have these limiting ideas what purpose is. Like we've heard someone somewhere on YouTube or, whatever that was talking about how it is. And now we have some expectations around it. But the point is that you find your own experience of it. So one day you can say, oh, that's how it feels like. It's not how that person told me, because each of us is experiencing lives in our own perspective. So for example, when you're reading books or listening videos like this or whatever it is, don't take it as a fact. Take it as an invitation to your own research. Like use all this information for your own inner research. Like only take something as a fact when it is your personal experience with it. Otherwise, everything is just an invitation for you to make a research. And that is how you tap into the purpose, where you recognize that it's all about my own experience. Let's do things for myself. And if I find whatever I'm doing really helpful for me, it will naturally be helpful for someone else as well. So start doing things more for yourself, and you will notice that that's how you will become the most helpful for others. Don't focus so much on how to help others if you can't even help yourself at a certain point of your life. There are actually two types of people that are givers. One type is that are really successful, really abundant, and they give a lot. They help many people. They help people financially. They help people in different resources. And then the second type of people is that is constantly giving out of people pleasing, because they don't know how to set boundaries, because they feel weak and they can't say no, so they always say yes to everything. So there are two different types of givers, and you need to recognize that in order to become that successful type of a giver, you firstly need to say no to many other things, so you say yes to yourself, so you recognize what feels right, what feels good, what feels joyful, what you truly want to do, and then you become really good at it by consistent practice and doing it and repeating it and failing at it and persisting at it and becoming really, really vibrant in it. And suddenly what happens, you will build something that will become helpful for others out of your determination and creativity and passion and love and compassion and so on. So learn to say no to many other things that don't resonate with you, so you can say yes to what resonates with you at this point. It will help you so much to integrate your wisdom, capacity, and beautiful energy. The eighth sign is that you often have unusual dreams, vivid dreams, like maybe dreaming about some beings from other dimensions, maybe seeing UFOs coming to you, visiting you, saying, hey, what's going on? If you have this type of dreams, often, sometimes even nightmares can be in this place, because nightmares often trigger our fears. And again, those are certain activations for us to teach us how to cope with the fear until we learn to kind of let go of it. Often when we have certain spiritual experiences in meditation, for example, we may recognize that firstly, whatever really mystical happens, sometimes it appears as something scary. But once we fully surrender to it, it turns out to be something really, really beautiful. That's when these inner visions and dreams are kind of helping us to overcome fears. But it's hard to understand it until we really dive deeper into it and slowly resolve it. For that kind of a work, it takes years sometimes. So be patient with yourself. The ninth sign is that you have a strong interest in metaphysics and spirituality, because that's where we find answers that are often not present anywhere else. So we find this deep enthusiasm for researching things that are kind of out of normal. And it's just a natural connection to the truth. Usually the truth is hidden somewhere where most people are not looking at it. And usually it is in some ancient teachings and metaphysics. So if you feel drawn into it, it's a sign that you may be a starseed, an old soul. And the 10th sign is that you have this strong urge for growth, because you know that you've come here to grow. Even a soul from ancient teachings means a complex creation of psychology and emotional complexity. That is a soul. And when we incarnate here and manifest ourselves in these physical bodies, we're not perfect as soul beings. We're here on a journey of evolution. We're still growing and improving ourselves in soul. So the spirit is perfect in its essence, but soul still has certain flaws. Like we still have certain desires that may on a long term be kind of hurtful for us. And sometimes we still have these psychological issues that need to be taken care of, like short attention span and things like that. And we like quick satisfactions, and we don't like to push ourselves through hurts, because we have these deep memories from the past that hurts are painful, that negative emotions are painful. So we are upgrading these old memories with new understanding that can only come to us and be awakened within us through deep and conscious work. Like sometimes you decide to do something painful not to hurt yourself, but actually to become more familiar with the pain, to recognize where is maybe its limit, and how much your life can change if you can easily or a little bit easier step out of the comfort zone and do what you've been afraid of because you want to free yourself from certain limitations. That's how you're growing in the soul. So that physical expression of yours then can become more clear and more fulfilling. And that's where your core energy changes and you start attracting greater miracles towards you. So this is a really, really deep work. And often it's mentioned in any type of a spiritual healing, but it's important to find practical guidance that can help you through this process. It's great if you can find a mentor, a teacher, a coach, someone who can guide you through the process until you become so independent that you can guide yourself on your own. But maybe you feel like you can already do it. So if you're like that, I was always like that. I've always guided myself through the process. I love books. I've read many of other books. Anytime a book finds me, I will read it. And that's how I learn. And then I put what I've learned into practice and I see what I experience. So I'm not attached to ideas from the books or to any kind of beliefs. I rather try it out and see what's real and what's not real for me. And I want to encourage you to look on life more open-mindedly and more open-heartedly. To only take as the truth something you can experience internally, but have a sense of faith that deep inside, in the essence of yourself, you are already perfect. And what you're doing with all of that, you're learning to become more of yourself, more of that beautiful essence of being you, being uniquely yourself, whoever you are in that beautiful heart. You know the best. So, my friends, I hope you found something valuable today. I hope you've enjoyed in today's painting. Once again, thanks to all of you for supporting my art in our Etsy store. And thanks to everyone for joining in our Patreon community, where you can find exclusive content, chat that is open for all the members. So go there, check it out. Until next time, one love.